Hey guys, out here at the governor's mansion in St. Paul, Minnesota. Um, I did have, want to point out they have all the street locked down. That trooper there has a crack in his windshield. When I did ask him about, if he's ever wrote a ticket out for that, he said, have a good day and walked away. So it kind of turned into a audit. How's it going?
Pretty good, yourself?
Not too bad. It's kind of eerily quiet out here.
Interesting looking range out
Oh, yeah, so this is my phone,
there. Yeah.
and this is just a holder for it.
Okay.
And then up here, we're live right now on Facebook because I kind of had an issue with that trooper there. And then this is a 360 camera.
Oh, not a microphone.
Not a micro, that's what everyone thinks.
Well, it looks like it. Is it like Bluetooth into your phone or?
No, it's its own camera setup.
Oh, it's got its own storage and everything.
Yep. So he has a crack in his windshield, and when I asked him about it, he just kind of laughed at me and walked away. I said, have you ever wrote a ticket for that? Because it's like right there through the line of sight for him. And so, I respect what they do. But again, it's, if they have a crack in their windshield, we pay a lot of money to make sure those cars are maintained.
Well, yeah, you might get a ticket for it if you.
Well, and that's what I was at. Like, if you're doing it, so would you write a ticket for the same thing you do? Right? Kind of held to a little bit higher standard, I think.
It's not his own car, then.
No, but we pay for it, so we should have it maintained, right?
Yeah.
It's just being that courteous and respectfulness that I try to get out of them. And
Are you
I'm independent.
expecting something going on?
No, and that's the thing. There's, they keep telling us there's no credible threats out, but they have everything on lockdown, which I get because of the DC stuff. So in case something happens, it's ready to go.
So another camera on your cap there?
Yep. So this one, everything that kind of I see that it'll record, and this one's static. This one's live.
Ah.
So
what do you do with all this then?
I upload to YouTube. So my channel's Minnesota News Now. So I come out here and I'll cover some of the protests, riots. I do a lot of constitutional stuff.
Yeah. Minnesota News Now.
Yeah, on YouTube.
On YouTube?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go have a chat with him and see if he'll give me his information. So a lot of things we do is try to bridge that gap, and it's just showing humanity. Like, yeah, man, it's broke, but we're short on something like that. Just
Yeah.
And then I asked him, like I said, have you ever wrote a ticket for it? Well, yeah, and I get it. Just show the humanity of law enforcement too, because right now we have such a divide. That how do we bridge that without? Because a lot of people, it's just us against them mentality, right? And
unless you're getting your car jacked, and then you want them back.
well, but the Supreme Court's rule twice is they have no obligation to protect us. The obligation to protect you is on you.
Sure.
And when seconds count, they're minutes away.
Yeah.
Like in Minneapolis has a huge problem with carjackings right now.
There were two in our neighborhood yesterday.
Right here?
One, where Ashland is, it's 2 blocks north.
Yep.
This is Lexington is 1,300 blocks of Ashland.
Okay.
There's one, and then down Milton, which is just this side of the stoplight, Victoria.
Yep.
And then 3 blocks south on Goodrich.
Well,
3 in the morning.
The sheriff goes, he does live on patrol.
I watched a couple times.
Yep. So we were doing that too. Like we would do we call it cop watch, right? Really. And what we do, me and a couple other people that film here, we would do the same thing. And basically we'd go to calls like cops or live PD type of deal. So it was kind of interesting.
You just follow them on the scanner and then go there? Or?
Yeah, but in Minnesota, it's illegal for us to have a scanner in a car.
Yeah.
So we have to have someone else listen and then message us.
Yeah.
Right. There's ways around it, but
yeah.
I can't control the content. Like I can't control that he has a broken windshield. I can't control his reaction to it. I just film it and put it out there. Now it's his power to be either human about it or be not human and be a jerk about it. And I talked to Lieutenant Gordon Shank quite a bit, especially when he tweeted out about us having IDs. Well, I'm independent. So, remember the old school press? They wrote press on a white piece of paper and put it in their hat. There's no press ID because we have the First Amendment. That's freedom of press, right?
Yeah.
So, and obviously I try to make it very apparent that You can see me. I'm not dark. I'm not, you know.
Don't have a long gun.
Don't have a long gun. I don't have any weapons.
I live on Ashland, just over here.
Yeah.
And so, come by here. And I mean, I get it. All these Saturdays after the election.
Oh, it was a lot of loud.
But big guns, it's like, what?
It's exercising the right.
Yeah, I know, but
You know.
it doesn't convey any sympathy from any of the neighbors.
But here's the other way to think about that too. Look at how many guns were here during these protests, and how many people were shot.
Oh no, right.
Right. So.
No, I agree. And legal gun owners are, I think, the safest group. I mean.
Yep. I mean, think how safe your neighbor. There's no carjackings happened when they were here.
Well, no.
Right?
Well, there was tire slashing.
Oh,
That one.
Wow.
But they were up here and their cars were over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, well.
Well, I'm gonna go have a chat with him and see what
Minnesota
he says.
News Now.
Yeah. Pretty easy to remember.
Well,
If you're like me, you'll forget it in about 2 minutes.
Happy hour was my
Oh, there you yeah. Well, that's okay too.
Minnesota News Now.
Yep.
So I'll remember that.
All right. Have a good one.
Good much.
Thank you. Okay, quick question for you because I didn't get it last time. What was your name and badge number?
What's that?
What was your name and badge number? Because I didn't get it when we were talking last. Is it in your policy to identify or?
Yeah, my name's Trooper Henstein.
Okay, Henstein.
5'9".
SP59.
Yep.
Okay. And just, I mean, and I'm not trying to be a dick about it. I'm just asking about the crack in the windshield. I mean, have you wrote tickets out for it?
I'm not gonna talk to you until they're okay.
Okay. So, if you see, he's got a crack in his windshield right through the line of sight. And I have more the video here on the side of my head, so we'll be talking to the captain about that. But yeah, sorry about that. I was chatting with a resident. So here's the governor's mansion. It's pretty quiet out here, as you can see. Yeah, I agree, hip hop. He's got some issues, and I just want him to be honest. Be like, yep, I wrote some tickets out. You know, he could just be cordial about it. He could be peaceful. He could be, just a human. Yeah, it's not allowed. So now I came out here to do something completely different. All right, let's read what the sign says here. This property has been placed on the National Registry of Historical Places by the United States Department of Interior. So, these are shots I'm not able to get, but there's our governor's mansion. All these streets are closed off. So, here's the no parking. These are, let's see, only when posted from 1/1/21 through 12/31/21. So from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. no parking. There will be a tag/tow, so they'll ticket, and it's a police order. I believe it's through St. Paul PD. So that's what we got out here in front of the St. Paul, Minnesota Governor's Mansion. To be fair, and that's it. I'm not I'm not picking on these guys. They have their hands full out here, and he could just merely say that, be like, yep, we got to get the car in, we got to get the windshield fixed. Just the humanity side of this, and but for him to have you know, he was great talking to me. I'll have that footage posted. You know, we had a pretty decent conversation, but you know, it's up to us to keep them in check too. So, you know, I don't really understand why they have to be like that. But that's why I went live. I'm gonna go across the street and try and talk to this other trooper quick. I don't know if you can see what this is just glare ice. This is what kind of makes it hard for us to do our job out here. In fact, this is we have 24 hours to get this stuff cleared off their sidewalks. Fucking more dangerous to walk out here on the street than it is to do cop watching and filming. So I'm gonna run over here, talk to this other trooper quick. But yeah, I guess there's been a couple some tire slashing and stuff like that out here, so I'm gonna go talk to this trooper. Thanks for tuning in. Hello? How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Hey, can I get your name and badge number by chance?
Why do you need my name and badge number?
Well, I'm just curious. You're out here with Hensley, so I just figure I'd get your name and badge number quick.
Yeah, it's Trooper Dan Britz, 186.
Britz 186. All right, thank you, sir. Hey,
Who are you with? What news agency?
I'm independent.
Okay, well, so independent, which news agency? Is that a website? Is that a
You've YouTube channel.
YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Which channel?
Why?
Just curious.
Okay. Well, I'll give you that if you can answer this for me, okay? Fair enough?
Depends on what it is. We'll see.
I just want to know what your guys' because he would have been cool. Like, I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just curious what your guys' policy on for like vehicle maintenance, because he has a cracked windshield, and all I did is merely ask him, you know, like, has he ever wrote a ticket out for that, right? You know, just curious. And you know, he just kind of got pissed off and walked away. And you know, I've talked to Lieutenant Gordon Shank a few times, and you know, I talked to him actually Thursday when I was out filming in front of the Capitol. You know, my goal is not to, you know, just have a conversation, show you guys are human too, right?
Yep.
We all make mistakes, and he could have, you know, just.
So part of it, you gotta understand we get frustrated with people asking random questions like that. But so as far as the policy goes, is the same thing as writing a ticket. If it obstructs the driver's view.
Okay.
So then it's.
Yeah, it's like it's right there. You know what I mean? And so.
And it's that's one of those things where it's how is it, you know, there's really no definition of obstructing the driver's view. You have to kind of interpret it. But then again, for us, it's a matter of when are we able to get it fixed? You know, just like anybody in the general public.
Exactly.
When are you able to get it in? You know, we've been working, you know, 16 days straight.
Right.
You know, not like you can sit there and not afford to have your spot.
Oh, I get it. And see, that's all the conversation I was looking at for him to have too, right? Just have that normal human interaction, because, you know, my goal is try to bridge this gap, right? I want to glorify the good officers, because everyone, you know, there's this distinct line, right? I mean, you're 100% pro law enforcement or you're 100% against it. It's like, yeah, but we're all individuals, right?
Yep.
Just like me being independent. That's why I walked over there and, you know, I told him, I said, hey, I'm just going to get some shots out here in front of the governor's mansion. I told, you know, Gordon Shank that I'm going to be having a high-vis vest on. I'm independent, so I don't really have a press pass, because it's more of a corporate ID than anything. And we had a great conversation, and, you know, everything was great. So because you let me know, I'll tell you, it's on YouTube. My channel's Minnesota News Now. So, you know, one thing I try to do is really highlight the good officers, you know, and show the good things, but then, you know, hold accountable the mistakes. And then, Gordon Shank and I are going to have an interview with some of the issues we've had with things that have been done that not quite right. But the good thing about that is he can explain, you know, like your guys' perspective, why it's happened that way, right? So he can go, well, I know it looks like this, but this is the reason why, you know, my troopers acted this way, or this is why, because obviously now, right, it's a heightened state of security because we don't know. I mean, for everything that I have for sources say there's no credible threats. The FBI in DC had a month of information they never released. So even though you guys might not know there's no credible threats, we might not think there's any credible threats, but that information might not have got passed around, right? So it's better to prepare. Yeah, and it's better to prepare for, you know, something bad instead of being caught off guard. I mean, y'all seen what happened downtown, you know, in the spring, and so, you know, that's kind of the main key about all this, right? And then, like I said, I'm not out there trying to pick a fight with him. I just, you know, like you explained, that's perfect. That's all I was looking for, you know.
Yep.
Just show the humanity side of it. Because I even got, were you there in front of Target by chance during the protest in St. Paul?
I wasn't. I was on military leave this summer.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I was so happened to stand there, I was taking a break, and I had my other camera out, and I got one of the troopers, I mean, took a firework straight to his chest when they were all lining up. And I'm like, you know, trust me, I didn't want to be there just as much as no one else wanted to be there, right? So, you know, and it's, like I said, I wish it was a little bit more. And I get where you guys come from too, but
There's a lot of negativity. We're very apprehensive to talk to people, and honestly, we're supposed to, anytime the press approaches us, we're supposed to say, you know, contact the VA.
yeah. And there's like 4, I think there's what, 6, each division has their own, and then Gordon Shank is the,
Yep.
Lieutenant Shank is the head of it. So, you know, but I think it's important to, I mean, when I was growing up, we had a trooper that lived in our neighborhood, and it was so cool to see his car parked in the driveway, you know, and it was just, and I feel like, and I get it from your guys' side too. Like you said, there's so much negativity that you just don't know who's gonna come up. But I think it's really important too to show you guys are human. Like you said, you're on military leave. That's, you know, there's so much more that we all do that's not just what we see right here, right now. So, no, I appreciate it, and that's why I asked, you know, for your name and badge number. And it's not so that, for one instance, for us that come out and film, the reason we ask is so that way we know if there's an incident or an issue, it's easier to identify. And either, you know, and I personally, I've wrote emails about the good interaction. I've filed, you know, like smaller agency city officer compliments, which you would be surprised. Every agency has a complaint form, but there's only like 3 or 4 that I found so far around the metro area that has a compliment form.
Really?
And see, to me, that's not okay, because what does that look like? Is that just like they expect that, you know, their officers are going to have complaints and they don't do anything good?
Yeah,
And
I guess.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not fair for you guys either. And I'm not one to file complaints about things too, because I mean, it's like any other job. Say you do something, they write a complaint, it's founded complaint, and then you want to move up in 10 years later in rank, and then they pull out that little piece of paper going, well, you know, and then you get screwed on something that could have just been resolved without going through that process too, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, I appreciate it, and you know, if he talks to you, that's it. That's all I was looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no worries.
We're not all enemies, but I hope it stays quiet out here for you guys too.
Yes.
I'm have you been down to the Capitol by chance?
I haven't. I mean, we're doing 14-hour shifts.
Oh,
I'm on May
God.
16, about 12 days, 13 to 16. So
That's
it's
rough.
been long, so.
See, and that's the other thing public doesn't understand too. And then one of the other stories I'm working on is like mental health for officers, right? Like you guys don't really deal a whole lot like city officers, the general public, the bar fights and things like that. So it's different when you guys are approached in the city with people. And you know, and for city officers going from call to call to call, that can be very, you know, mentally and physically exhausting to someone. There's not always a lot of help. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know. That's something that they're starting to look at.
And that's something the public doesn't realize too. I mean, you guys aren't, you're human too, just like the rest of us. And people do need to be able to talk and decompress. And that's, you know, if you're doing, what'd you say, day 16 on 14-hour shifts?
Yeah, well, I'm on day 13 of 16, 14-hour shifts, so it's,
See, and that by itself is just mentally exhausting.
yep, it's a lot. It takes a toll on the family and everything else. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, you go home, shower, eat, say hi, and pass out, get up and do it again.
Yep, exactly.
All right, well, I'm gonna get out of here. I wanna go get some shots in front of the Capitol and see what's going on there. And
Okay. What's your name again?
my name is Jason.
Jason? Nice to meet you.
It's good to meet you too. Well, hopefully you stay safe, and yeah, just know that we're not all of us are out there to, you know, like I said, that the interaction we had, that's all I'm looking for.
No worries, man. Have a good night.
You too. See you later. Well, I think this is a nice shot to leave us on here. I am going to jump off and head over to the Capitol. Thank you so much. I wasn't able to pay attention too much to the chat. And yes, quiet is good. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Yeah, I'm not going to let them lead me into a trap, but they already know who I am, so I'm just looking for the positive interactions. Anyway, I'm going to leave this off here. I'm going to head over to the Capitol and get some shots. So, I get some water. All right, you guys take care. Minnesota News Now out.